Hi, all. In this video, let's talk about situations where the wife says that she wants a divorce, and the husband is shocked because it seems like just yesterday everything was quite good. The relationship may have been deteriorating, but the husband didn't expect the wife to want a divorce. If this is about you, most likely there has been tension between you in the last few weeks, which has eventually culminated in your wife's decision to leave you. She feels tense and wants to be out of the marriage as quickly as possible. Your wife doesn't just want to leave, she wants a divorce. She has been accumulating negativity, grievances, and anger for a long time, which ultimately led her to the decision to leave. There is no point in fighting her decision directly. If you waste your energy trying to dissuade her, there will be strong kickback from her, as she's been storing her energy to push for the divorce. For a while, your wife has had a lot of doubt and inner contradictions, and she has been getting herself to this state for a long time. Therefore, the best and most effective thing is to let her spend her negative charge without fighting with her, and then influence her later. There is such a principle in martial arts, to use the strength of your opponent to suit your needs. Your woman has accumulated a lot of claims against you. She argues and spits out all her negative emotions. If you fight her, it can cause even more negativity and tension in your relationship. Such behavior will only reinforce her opinion that she has made the right decision to get a divorce. A good solution in situations like this is to agree with her verbally so that she doesn't have a reason to fight you, but to follow a strategy to become more attractive and interesting to her. If you do this, she will have grounds to change her decision. She now has negative expectations about continuing the relationship with you. So instead of fighting her decision, it's better to influence her to change her expectations. You need to plant the seed of doubt that she may be making a big mistake. In cases where she attacks you, criticizes you, scolds you, tries to convince you how bad the relationship with you was for her, don't try to change her mind. Just tell her that the relationship was good and that everything will be all right. You have to accept that there have been problems in the relationship, and that at some point, you really didn't live up to her expectations. It's sad and unfortunate, but you can't change the past. By agreeing with her grievances, you are letting her run out of steam. Because she's wasting energy on voicing her claims, and her negativity is draining. Once some of the negativity is gone, you will find it easier to influence her and have a chance to get the relationship back on track. In a situation where your wife doesn't want to communicate, leave her alone. Don't jerk her around, and don't get sarcastic. Another good strategy is to agree with her. If she's decided to get a divorce, tell her it may not be a bad idea and will benefit both of you. If you do this, all the negative energy that she's been hoarding and wanting to release on you will just disappear. She won't know where to place it and may begin to question her decision. An interesting point in psychology is when you agree with your opponent instead of arguing. An internal conflict begins in her. So, the first task is to remove the negative energy and grievances that are there. If you do not agree with your wife and do not limit the amount of communication, then your relationship can follow several scenarios. The first scenario is that she is negative and angry with you, and you just try to fight her over that. The second is that she just shuts down and doesn't want to communicate. You try to shake her up, but get her negativity in return. In both cases, to reduce her tension, you need to limit the amount of communication. Next, you can talk to her about children and finances. There are many issues that you must resolve before the divorce, and this will help you buy time. During the time, you can show her your positive changes. For example, a property division agreement can be signed before the divorce. This makes the divorce process easier. You can say, "Let's first talk about the finances." This way, you'll slow down the divorce process. It's hard to change her decision in just a couple of days. With how much negativity she has, that probably won't work. Changing her mind is a longer process. Once the air between you two is a bit clearer, it is important to demonstrate to her that a new, happy relationship with you is possible. But it's best to be indirect about this. If you just tell her, "Honey, I've changed. We're going to have a happy relationship. Everything will be fine. Come back to me," she probably won't believe it. In most cases, the woman has heard these promises for years, but they weren't what the man's actions showed. Now she just doesn't believe it. She has built up an emotional wall that prevents her from being influenced by the old ways. It is a psychological mechanism that helps her avoid pain and disappointment in the relationship. What can be done to overcome this wall and win back her love? Just for cases like this, our team has developed a method of indirect influence. The essence of the method is to influence her through her environment and social networks by means of special stories. Detailed examples and templates for such stories can be found in the book Get Your Wife Back by following the link below this video and in the comments. For example, you might tell your wife that you are going to lose weight, which she may doubt. Instead, you could post photos on social networks where you are already in good shape, wearing new, good-looking clothes that fit you perfectly. To better understand in what key areas you need positive change, I suggest using the technique of reviewing 10 recent conflicts. Its essence is to write out 10 conflicts that you have had, and opposite each of them, indicate the reasons for your wife's anger. It is often the case that you will see one or two reasons and the points of growth for your changes repeat most frequently. Another technique is to compare yourself at the beginning of the relationship to who you are now. How did you used to behave? How did that behavior change? What did you used to do that you no longer do? And what have you started doing over the last few months? You can restore your attractive behavior and get rid of the newly acquired negative habits. Give us a like if you find this information useful. It takes more than one touch for your wife to believe in a possible happy future with you. Rather, it takes a whole series of proofs of key changes. After a few such touches, she will become interested in you, begin to doubt her decision, and want to communicate with you. At these moments, your wife will begin to text or call more often, and her tone will become warmer. If your communication has greatly improved, then it's time to ask her out on a date. Your goal is to have good, quality time together, not to talk about your past, but just to talk like you did at the beginning of your relationship, when she fell in love with you. If at this point you feel that you can get closer and kiss her, do so. If you can spend the night together, go for it. But don't think that if you sleep with her now, everything will automatically work out. You have a set of problems that needs to be solved, and it's really important to continue to work on improving yourself. Only after that do you show your wife the changes that you've made. If you imitate change but don't actually change, she may come back for a while and then leave again, even more frustrated. Each time this happens, it will be harder and harder to get her back. If you want to avoid mistakes getting your wife back, and you need a detailed plan on how to do that, how to stall your divorce, what to write or say, and how to make yourself better, you can find it in the book, Get Your Wife Back, by following the link under this video or in the comments. If you have any questions, or if you want to talk about a topic of concern, write it in the comments and I'll reply as soon as I can. Subscribe to my channel as that will support me in creation of new content. Good luck getting your wife back.